Hi, welcome back to the channel. I am off to the supermarket after weeks of watching Christmas movies to buy eggnog. Here in the UK, you never see it, and over in America, they're drinking about 61 million litres of eggnog every year. So why aren't we drinking it? What do the Americans know that we don't know? Let's find out. Let's go and grab some eggnog. If we can, you never normally see it in the UK stores. And if we can't find it, we're gonna make it. Let's go. First port of call, the alcohol section, nothing there. Then we're going over to the dairy milkshake milk section. Can't find it. So no luck in the supermarkets. Here in the UK, you can't find eggnog. For love or money, it would apparently see. So for us, luckily today, we're going to make eggnog in the kitchen, here in my kitchen at home. And it's a nice, easy recipe. It takes a few minutes to whip up, stays in the fridge for a couple of days, and you can add it to your repertoire of English drinks like mulled wine. If you need a recipe for that, click the link up here. I lived in the hometown of Charles Dickens for a good 10 years. So this mulled wine has a nice little link back to Charles Dickens. So click this link if you want a mulled wine recipe. It's got a nice little bit of smoky spice in there to add that flavor, add a little bit of zing to it. But for today, we're gonna try eggnog. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, you'll find out why eggnog has got a little link to the UK and probably why we're not drinking it. Here we go, let's make a banging recipe for eggnog and enjoy all our friends stateside when we sit down and watch National Lampoon's Christmas this year with a homemade glass of eggnog. Okay, so to start off, we're going to take the scales because measuring everything keeps it nice and consistent, and a heavy base saucepan. And first off, you want to weigh out 670 millilitres of milk, followed by 180 millilitres of heavy double cream. Next, we're going to use a nice seeded vanilla extract like I normally use, and you want 1 big teaspoon of vanilla extract with the seeds in it. This is the best one I can find. We're going to add that to the milk, and this is going to infuse the vanilla flavour as it goes on the stove. Now make sure you stir it in there. Loads of vanilla seeds left on the teaspoon, so just scrape those off so you don't lose any of that vanilla flavour. And vanilla is great when it comes to eggs because it kind of masks that egg flavour and gives it a nice vanilla twist. And now let's get that pan on the stove. The secret to this recipe, don't let that milk simmer or boil, you just want it nice and hot. Next we're going to take a nice bowl and we're going to separate 4 large egg yolks. Now I weigh the egg yolks to 80 grams just to keep the recipe nice and consistent. And this is how you separate the eggs. Pop it in the bowl and just separate the eggs using the shell just to toss it side to side, removing the egg whites, and that's going to go on the scales to 80 grams, which is 4 large egg yolks. Then now to this we're going to add 100 grams of caster sugar or granulated sugar, doesn't matter too much. And now you want to whip those egg yolks up so they're nice and white and fluffy. Now testing the milk so it's hot but not too hot. We're going to add that milk into the egg yolks gradually. Just add a little bit of milk to start with just to bring those egg yolks up to temperature to stop them scrambling. Once that's mixed in, you can add the rest of the milk and stir that in. As with any baking, remember all that vanilla is part of the recipe, so make sure you scrape out all those delicious seeds and get that into the custard. Give it a whisk round. Now this is where I pass it. I pass the custard mixture through a fine sieve just to remove any hard bits of egg, and make sure this goes back into a brand new clean pan just so it doesn't catch on the bottom when you cook it for a second time. Nobody wants a burnt bottom, and once again you want to drag those little vanilla seeds out by their ankles to make sure they're not left behind. Next up we get 1 gram of ground cinnamon into the custard, and then 1 whole nutmeg, and we grate that in nice and finely. I like using the whole nutmeg because it gives it a stronger flavour, and I think you get a better aroma from the nutmeg when it's grated fresh from the nut. Right, that's going back on the stove. This is where you need to be careful. Take a spatula or a wooden spoon and continuously stir that custard until it thickens up. At this stage, if you let that puppy boil or simmer, you're going to get scrambled eggs. So you want to warm it up nice and gently just till the custard thickens. And the classic way of testing this, lift the spoon out, drag your finger across the spoon, and it should leave a line like this telling you it's ready. Okay, there we go. Let's give it a taste. I mean, simply delicious. This reminds me of my young chef days back in my first job in the pastry section, where I'd never tasted creme anglaise English custard before, and I'd dive into the walk-in fridge in the pastry section with a spoon and just lap up cold custard in the fridge. Unbeknown to me, I was drinking eggnog. Now to make it family friendly, this can go in the fridge up to 2 days, pour it over ice, some grated nutmeg on top, and you've got a nice festive drink. But to make it a real drink for me and make it a party favourite, we're going to add some booze into there, get some spiced rum, some bourbon whiskey, and make it a really festive drink for this time of year. So here we go. Now you don't have to, but I'm popping this back into a mixing bowl just to start the cooling process. And next up, it's time to add that booze. I've got a nice spiced rum here. To be honest, after my teenage years of too much Jack Daniels, I kind of stay away from bourbon. So I'm just going to use a spice rum, but you can add bourbon if you want to. We're going to add 180 millilitres of alcohol to the custard. Yes, 180 millilitres. Seems like a lot of booze. And as the scales keep going up, that booze keeps going. Look at that continuous pour. That is some festive drinking. And now a final little whisk just to emulsify, bring all that custard and alcohol together before it goes into the fridge. And now I've reserved a nice clean glass pasta sauce bottle, which has got a nice wide lid. Looks a bit like a giant English milk bottle, so we're going to decant the eggnog into a gravy boat first to give us a fighting chance so we don't spill it. Boom. As always, spilt it, and I think we lost about 10 shots of rum right here. I think every video I make, I always spill the liquid. Anyway, cleaning that up, we are now going to pour that into the nice big glass bottle, and this is perfect to go in the fridge for 2 days, which is pretty much forcing us to drink it in the next 48 hours, but perfect for a party. As always, a great idea to label anything you put in the fridge so you know how long it's been in there. So we're just going to write a label and pop it on the bottle. And hopefully this label stops the kids pouring it on their cereal in the morning and passing out before noon. And now it's nice and chilled. We're going to get a nice big block of ice into a celebratory punch glass, pour over that eggnog, and then top it with freshly grated nutmeg for that seasonal finish. And it's already smelling super festive. So here we go, my first sup of homemade eggnog. I'm pretty excited. I love egg custard tart, and how different can it be? And it's got a bit of a rum inside it as well. That's delicious. That's really good. UK, why don't we drink eggnog at Christmas? It's a Christmas conspiracy. You do not need many glasses of that to get you in the Christmas spirit, I can tell you that for sure. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As easy as that. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you give it a bash over here in the UK. Like I said, 61 million litres. The Americans have basically been drinking custard and chucking some booze in it. So that is what the secret is to a good eggnog. And in England, we call it crème anglaise, or the French call it crème anglaise. They call it an English custard. Egg yolks, sugar, some milk and cream, add some little spices. It's basically crème anglaise, which is an English custard, according to the French. And that is a recipe for eggnog. Chuck it over ice, chuck it in a glass, grate some nutmeg on top. Americans, you're a genius. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you love Christmas recipes, you have to watch this playlist next. This is all my Christmas recipes all in one place. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video.